Narendra Modi government has introduced the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 in the Lok Sabha to amend the existing Waqf rules. And you have Kiren Rijiju, who introduced the bill at 1 p.m. today. Now, on expected lines, the bill was introduced. The opposition went on a tirade, calling the bill unconstitutional and accusing the government of targeting Muslims with the reforms. Leading the charge for the Congress party was K.C. Venugopal, who began by saying that Christians will be next. Samajwadi Party MP Mobibullah fearmongered and said that people will now hit the streets. And AIMIM's Asaduddin Owaisi also claimed that the bill proves that the government is an enemy of Muslims. Watch what happened in Parliament.
Sir, I oppose the introduction of the bill under Rule 72(2) on the grounds that this House does not have the competence to make these amendments. This bill patently violates the principles provided in Article 14, 15 and 25. Sir, it is both discriminatory, arbitrary. It is a grave attack on the basic structure of the Constitution as it violates the principle of judicial independence and separation of powers. Sir, one thing has to be understood, that the Waqf management of a property is an essential religious practice for a Muslim. By denying legal recognition to Waqf al-Awlad under Clause 4 and Waqf by user under Section 3(r)(1), government has sought to severely restrict how Muslims can manage their Waqf property. Now, you are stopping me from praying. Now, what you are doing, you are restraining Waqf al-Awlad. That is not only discriminatory and violating Article 25, sir. There is no limit on anyone to will their property dispose of. Waqf properties, sir, are not public properties. By removing Waqf by user, this government wants to take over Dargah, Masjid and Waqf properties, sir.
सर इस तरह के कवानीन से मुल्क की स्टाक को नुकसान पहुंचेगा। कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की स्पिरिट हम खत्म कर देंगे और अगर ये होगा तो कोई भी अकलियत, कोई भी माइनॉरिटी अपने आप को हिंदुस्तान में सेफ नहीं करेगी। पिछले दिनों सिखों के साथ भी ये हुआ और कुछ ईसाई भाइयों के साथ भी इस तरह के वाकयात हुए हैं, जिसकी वजह से सब लोग अपने आप को असहाय महसूस कर रहे हैं। 10 साल से जो मुल्क में माइनॉरिटीज के साथ, उनके हुकूक के साथ, उनके रिलीजन फ्रीडम के साथ जो खिलवाड़ किया जा रहा है, उससे रूह कांप जाती है और ऐसा महसूस होता है कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि जनता इन हुकूक के लिए, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बचाने के लिए दोबारा सड़कों पर आ जाएगी।
Sir, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to raise an objection on this draconian law which is introduced by the government. Sir, fundamentally this is an attack on Constitution. Basically, when we are talking about the constitutions, this bill is a fundamental attack on Constitution.
This bill is specifically targeting a particular community, a particular religious group, and it violates Article 14 of the Constitution, which says equality before law. So this bill is completely against the Muslims, the minorities, and they does not believe that this country is made of people.
Now, Union Minister Kiren Rijiju has referred the bill to a joint parliamentary committee, and he's also defended the government's position. One of the biggest criticisms of the bill by the opposition is that it is anti-Muslim. It will take over the land of the Waqf, it will weaken the Waqf, and it will also snatch the rights of the Muslims. Now, Union Minister Kiren Rijiju, when he was defending the provisions of the bill in Parliament, went on to say that this bill does just the opposite, which is give rights to those who never had them. Let's listen into an excerpt of what Kiren Rijiju said.
ये एक समुदाय का बात मुसलमानों को गुमराह करके यहाँ बात रखा जा रहा है। एक कम्युनिटी डोमिनेशन करके अगर छोटे छोटे लोगों को कुचल देंगे तो फिर हम इस सदन में बैठ करके हम न्याय कैसे दे सकते हैं? इसमें भी कई ऐसा नेता है जो मुझे आके कहा है कि देश में जितना स्टेट वक्फ बोर्ड है सब माफिया लोगों ने कब्जा कर लिया है। ये बहुत लोग कह रहे हैं, आज सदन में नहीं कह रहे, सदन में अपना पार्टी का दबाव या किसी के डर से या वोट बैंक का चक्कर से नहीं बोल रहा है।
And Akansha is joining us live as we get you the latest. We saw that the debate that in fact played out on the floor of the House over the Waqf reforms. The government has said it is ready to discuss the bill before a joint parliamentary committee, and it also has been referred. The opposition says that this is anti-Muslim. Now that the government is ready to discuss the bill before a JPC, now what's the criticism of the opposition? They still seem to be unsatisfied, Akansha.
Well, absolutely. The central government today introduced the Waqf Amendment Bill in the Parliament, and the discussion went on for 2.5 hours. Now it has been sent to the Joint Parliamentary Committee, and as per the Lok Sabha website, what it is written here is that a bill is referred. If a bill is referred to the Joint Committee, it considers the bill clause by clause, just as the House does, and amendments can be moved to the various clauses by the member of the committee. And after the report of the Joint Committee has been presented to the House, the member in charge of the bill usually, in fact, moves the motion for the consideration of bill. So this is as far as the bill is concerned. It has been sent to the JPC for wider scrutiny. But as far as the discussion is concerned, we saw what opposition parties said. They said that this bill is divisive, this is anti-Muslim, anti-constitution, and they also said that the fact that there will be two non-Muslims in the Waqf board is something that they said is not welcome. On this, the central government said that in fact they defended the bill and went on to say that it is not against just one religion. In fact, there are land mafia who are in the garb of, in fact, the Waqf board, who are trying to fool people, is what Kiran Rijiju said as far as defending the bill is concerned.
All right. So, Akansha, stay with us, because the Union Minister also spoke about specific instances where land was usurped. The contentious claims of the Waqf board has caused distress amongst people across the country, and those were the charges that came in during these consultations that the government held. And the government says that these consultations have been held straight from the year 2014. Kiran Rijiju spoke about one village, a report that even Times Now did to get you a reality. We are talking about a village called Tiruchendurai in Tamil Nadu's Trichy. 2 years ago, this village was claimed by the Waqf as its property. Ironically, there's a 1500-year-old temple in this village, and as per the Waqf board, even the temple belongs to the Waqf board. Watch the report and then we'll get you more details.
The Narendra Modi 3.0 Sarkar is gearing up to amend the contentious 1995 Waqf Act. The decision has already triggered a political maelstrom in Delhi. But in Tamil Nadu, a village which 2 years ago became the victim of the Waqf board's alleged land grab is still waiting to get clarity on the status of land ownership of its people. This is the Tiruchendurai village in Tamil Nadu's Tiruchirappalli district. It is home to 7,000 families. Most of them are Hindus. In 2022, these villagers were in for a shock when they got to know that the Tamil Nadu Waqf board had claimed the entire village to be its own property, including this ancient 1,500-year-old Shiva temple.
This village was in the midst of a controversy back in 2022 when the Waqf board claimed that almost an entire village, 480 acres of land in this village belonged to them. And in fact, in the 480 acres of land, this very old 1,500-year-old Shiva temple which we are looking at right now also comes. And in fact, the lands that belongs to the temple, the land that belongs to the people living here, and in fact, most of the people living in this village are also Hindus, is what was reported back in 2022.
2 years later, the villagers living in this agricultural hamlet are still wary. They do not know what to expect next. Can the Waqf board still continue to claim ownership over their land? If so, will the new amendments that the Modi government is planning to bring help them?
2022ல இந்த பிரச்சனை ஆரம்பிச்சது. வக்ஃப் வாரியம் வந்து உங்களோட நிலத்தெல்லாம் வந்து அவங்களுக்கு சொந்தம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. அப்போ நீங்க நிறைய போராட்டம் பண்ணீங்க, நிறைய பேர் அரசியல் தலைவர்கள்லாம் வந்து உங்களுக்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ணாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன ஆச்சு? அந்த நிலங்கள் வந்து பத்தியே
வந்து எதுவுமே சொல்லலைங்க மேடம். அதை பத்தி அந்த இஷ்யூவே கிடையாம பண்ணிட்டாங்க. அதை பத்தி பேசுறதுக்கே இது இல்லை. கலெக்டர் என்னமோ அதை பத்தி நடவடிக்கை எடுக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னதோட ஆஃப் ஆயிருக்குங்க மேடம்.
ஓகே. ஸோ இப்போ வந்து அப்போ வந்து எனக்கு கலெக்டர் எங்ககிட்ட என்ன சொன்னாரு அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, இந்த பிரச்சனை நாங்க சுமூகமா தீர்த்துருவோம், இதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த பிரச்சனை வராது அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தாரு. வக்ஃப் வாரியத்து கூட பேசுவோம், பேச்சுவார்த்தை நடத்துவோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தாரு. அதுக்கப்புறம் உங்ககிட்ட வந்து நீங்க பட்டா வச்சிருக்கிறதுனால நீங்க வச்சுக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்களா? ஏதாவது ஒரு
சொல்லலப்பா, ஒருத்த கூட ஒன்றும் சொல்லலப்பா. சொல்றோம்னு சொன்னாங்க, அவ்வளவுதான், சொல்லவே இல்லையா. நாங்க பாட்டில் இருக்கோம்.
சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட்ல பார்லிமெண்ட்ல வந்து இதை மாத்த போறாங்க அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன் இருக்கு. இது வந்தா உங்களுக்கு என்ன நல்லது நடக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க?
எங்களுக்கான இடத்துக்கான பட்டா பூர்வீகமா கொடுப்பாங்க, அதுக்கு கொடுத்தா போதும் மேடம், நாங்க நிம்மதியா இருப்போம். அதை பத்தி இந்த இதுவே இல்லாம பேச மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. 2 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி பேசுனதோட அப்படியே ஆஃப் ஆகி கிடக்கு.
And right now they are saying that when the issue happened, the collector and the other officials had promised them that these lands would not be taken up for grabs by anybody, including the Waqf board, and they can continue to live here. But there was not any final decision that was taken upon it, and they are still awaiting that they would get a final answer, a solution to their problems.
Tiruchenturai village's story is just one example. Here's what the 1995 Act enabled the Waqf board to lay claim over.
They can also stake claim to a Gurdwara, and they have in Yamunanagar in Haryana. That is not all. They can also stake claim to a government building, which is what happened in Surat. The municipal corporation headquarters were said to be Waqf property. The municipal corporation supplied 8 documents to oppose this claim, but lost the case. Not just that, viewers, the Taj Mahal Sunni Waqf board, believe it or not, said that Shah Jahan gave them Taj Mahal, registered Taj Mahal as Waqf property in 2005.
Over the years, Waqf board became India's 3rd largest landowner after the forces and Indian Railways. It owns over 8,72,292 registered properties that are spread over 8 lakh acres. Their land has more than doubled in just 15 years. The amendments to the Waqf Act have been long overdue. The arbitrary powers given to the Waqf board led to multiple instances of land grab that caused suffering in the Muslim community itself. Government sources say they have decided to reform the act after extensive consultations. The focus will now be on process and transparency in the Waqf board. Isn't this a move to uphold secularism in its true sense? With Varshini in Tiruchenturai, Bureau Report, Times Now.
Dharani is joining us live. And Dharani, when our colleague was in Tiruchenturai, when she spoke to the villagers there, they showed her the documents of their property. They claim that over the last 2 years, they're living in a sense of uncertainty because it still hasn't been clarified to them officially if the Waqf can still claim ownership over their property. Now, with this bill, what is the sense you're getting on the ground as you speak to those who are still awaiting that kind of clarity? Are they seeing hope?
Well, definitely with this bill, the villages of Tiruchenturai, they are saying go because for the past 2 years, they've been living in the middle of uncertainty. In 2022, when this controversy first broke out, the district collector of Tirupati, he assured them that the government will go through the archives and they'll find out if the land actually belongs to the villages or the Waqf board. But after that, no further communication was established with the villages, and the villages are still clueless about what is the actuality. So when we try talking to the chairman of Tamil Nadu Waqf board, he tells us that they are in fact having certain proofs and documents to claim a portion of the Tiruchenturai village, and they're also accepting that just like how they are in hold of a portion of the village, there are also other portions of the village belongs to individuals and other people, but both the parties have not established or kept the proof on table to make sure what is what.
Right. All right. So we should also tell our viewers that this report that was brought to us by Varshini, this very case was mentioned in the parliament today by Union Minister Kiren Rijiju.